Hey everybody, it's James Freeman. Today's video will be heavily censored and redacted due to its extremely graphic nature. If you would like to see the full, incredibly disturbing video, a link is in the description and the pinned comment below. I will show you parts of this interaction to show what led up to the murder, but I will not show the part of the video where a Jonesboro, Arkansas police officer executes a man by holding a gun to the back of his head and squeezing the trigger twice. The one thing that almost everybody seems to be missing about this story is that from the very beginning, this officer never had a legal or lawful right to detain his victim. But we will talk about that as the video plays out. The story begins on February 9th, 2022, when Officer Corey Obregon sees a man walking down the street and decides that he just wants to talk to him for no particular reason. He states that he's out doing drug interdiction and community policing, just trying to get to know people in the neighborhood.
Obregon with the Jonesboro Police Department. The reason I'm getting out with you, man, we're just doing a little bit of drug interdiction in the area. We're just trying to get to know people also. There's a little bit of community policing, okay? Do what? Hey, come here. Come here. I can smell marijuana on you. Come here.
Oh, you're lying.
Come here.
You're lying.
Come here.
No.
Hey, come here.
Smell marijuana,
Come here.
Now, let's first go after the lowest hanging fruit here. Even if this officer does smell marijuana, it could be coming from any of the houses on this street. It should be noted that no calls about any suspicious activity or criminal activity were made. Officer Obregon decided out of nowhere to try to stop this random person. At first, he states that he's just trying to do community policing and get to know people. That would make this a consensual encounter. But when his victim chose not to consent to a conversation with him, he started trying to fabricate reasonable, articulable suspicion by claiming that his victim smelled like marijuana. Now, while there is case law saying that the smell of marijuana is not probable cause for a search, I'm not aware of any case law saying that the odor of marijuana is not reasonable, articulable suspicion for a stop. Marijuana is legal in the state of Arkansas. Therefore, what crime could possibly be afoot just because you smell marijuana? Marijuana is only legal medically in Arkansas, so you are supposed to have a medical card in order to use or carry it. But I would also like to point out that in order to drive in Arkansas, you're supposed to have a driver's license. That doesn't mean that cops have RAS to stop every single person they see driving and check for a license. In states where you have to have a license to carry a handgun, police are not allowed to stop you just because you have a gun to check if you have a license. So why would it make any sense that in a state where you can legally have marijuana, that police would have the right to stop you and make you prove that you can legally have it?
What are you doing?
I will tell you. Come here.
No, you're making me nervous.
In a matter of seconds, this Jonesboro police officer went from trying to get to know people in the community to making false accusations to chasing a man down the street and tackling him. After tackling his victim, he begins patting him down and is heard saying, "If that's a gun, this isn't going to end well for you." Seconds later, a gunshot goes off and the officer claims that he's been shot in the leg. Both the officer and his victim were on the ground when the shot went off. The officer is on top of his victim and has full control over him, and even is able to reach for his radio with one hand while fully controlling his victim with the other hand. The officer retrieves his own firearm while the victim is laying on the pavement with his back to the officer. He raises his gun to the back of the victim, firing one shot into the back of his neck and one into the back of his head. The Jonesboro Police Department took only a couple of days to investigate themselves and find that they did nothing wrong. Marijuana won't kill you, but prohibition will. It should also be noted that no marijuana was actually found on the victim. As of right now, it appears that this officer is going to get away with one of the most cold-blooded murders I've ever seen. Link to the incredibly disturbing, age-restricted, uncut video is in the description and the pinned comment below.